Welcome to this year's Black History Month Assembly. Black History Month is an annual celebration of Black people all around the world. It originates from Negro History Week, created by historian Carter G. Woodson and other African Americans. Since 1976, the month of February was officially designated as Black History Month. To start off this year's assembly, we will have the all-school chorus performing Lift Every Voice and Sing, and the upper school chorus singing Wanna Be Happy and I Smile.
twist me, turn me, mold me. What difference would it make because you know I'm only 3/5 of a person? Make that 2/5. Being black has become a trend and I don't know why. Why would you want to be made fun of by your own sisters and brothers because your complexion is a few shades darker than them? Why would you want to sit down on what once was a soft pillow on the floor that as time progressed turned into a hard rock, patiently waiting for a pat on your shoulder to indicate that your hair is done? Using our nimble fingers to build streets and pathways to the promised land, only for those streets and pathways to be segregated. And to find that your culture is but a hashtag. You use our slang with no knowledge on why some of us talk the way we do. When the country you help build won't put good schools in your neighborhood, what do you expect? When you want to be, why would you want to be sought out? Because you aren't a person, you are an object. An object, no. You don't even amount to that much. You're a result. Your men are the product of years of singing songs out in the cotton fields, wishing for a new day, wishing to be reborn. And your women, they are nothing but a leather bag of bones and skin. Not even our blood that shed for almost 300 years of hard labor with no pay is valuable. Not even our feelings matter because it took 500 years for the world to see that a black man could cry. Because he's sad, because he feels like no one is there for him. Because he's sick. With the virus that has been passed down from generation to generation called numbness. Numb to the pain of the sentence, stop crying or I'll give you something to cry about. As if the pressures of society aren't enough. As if the pressure to find a suitable husband for yourself because your father was one for your mother isn't bad enough. As if being seen as a threat isn't heavy enough. We are seen as a threat because we seem to be good at everything, that we put no effort into our craft, which is wrong. We aren't natural basketball players and rappers and singers, or even parents. We have to work for it, put our backs and elbow grease into being seen. Not as anything or anyone, just to be seen. But I guess we got exactly what we want, what we asked for, because now a 12-year-old boy is a threat, wearing a hoodie is a threat, looking at you the wrong way is a threat. 18, sorry, I went overboard just like the policeman did. 16 shots would only take 16 knocks and 16 tries and 16 years to raise a black child for them to realize that they will never get the respect that they deserve. Not even from their own people. But since my hair is long and defies gravity and since I have a pretty decent vocabulary, I get respected. What if I was darker shade? What if my hair was shorter and more defined? Since I couldn't let freedom ring 50 years ago, I'm gonna let it ring now. I'm gonna project my voice and scream out, I am somebody! How many fists do I need to get respect? How many fists would it take for my brothers not to be fetishized in the media? How many fists would it take for Donald Trump to see my working class college graduate father as a decent person or even a person at all? I am not less than or more than, just equal. So treat me like it. Thank you.
Jackie Robinson. Jackie Robinson was the first African-American baseball player to break the color barrier. In the modern era, Moses Fleetwood Walker was actually the first African-American baseball player credited with playing pro baseball back in 1889 with the Toledo Blue Stockings. Robinson attended John Muir High School in Pasadena, California, where he made Pomona Annual Baseball Tournament All-Star Team that included future Baseball Hall of Famers Ted Williams from the Boston Red Sox and Bob Lemon of the Cleveland Indians. Jackie was also a junior tennis champion. Jack made his debut with the Dodgers on April 15, 1947 at the age of 28, batting average .297, 12 home runs hit, and 48 RBIs, runs batted in, with 29 stolen bases. He did this while only striking out 36 times during an accumulation of a whopping total of 701 at-bats. He led the Dodgers to the pennant, where they lost to the Yankees in the World Series. Jackie once said, "Not one person in this country is free till we all are free." Jackie changed the game. the perfect time to see a baseball game, but baseball in America was not always the same. Once, the major leagues were closed to players who were black, till Jackie stepped on Ebbets Field and never once looked back. He heard the shouting from the stands, the insults to his race. He simply kept his head held high and stole another base. With every homer Jackie hit, he scored not just a run, but baseball in America was one for everyone. By Usain Eugene Perkins. We are black, like a starless night. We are children of Africa. We are ebony, like burnt toast. We are children of Africa. We are amber, like sweet honey. We are children of Africa. We are brown, like peanut butter. We are children of Africa. We are bronze, like roasted coffee buns. But we are children of Africa. We are one. We are all children of Africa.
The Bronze Legacy, to a brown boy. 'Tis a noble gift to be brown, all brown, like the strongest things that make up this earth, like the mountains great and grand, even like the very land, even like trunks of trees, even an oath to be like these. God built his strength in bronze, to be brown like thrush and lark, like the subtle rain so dark. Near the king of beasts wears brown, eagles are of the same hue. I thank God, then I am brown. Brown has mighty things to do.
Hello, I'm Justin, and I'll be reading excerpts from a Birmingham jail. We have waited for more than 340 years for our constitutional and God-given rights. The nation of Asia and Africa are moving with jet-like speed towards gaining political independence, but we still creep at horse and buggy paces towards gaining a cup of coffee at the lunch counter. Perhaps it is easy for those who have never felt the swinging darts of segregation to say wait. But when you have seen vicious mob length your mother and fathers at will and drown your sisters and brothers at whim, when you have seen the hate-filled policemen curse, kick, and even kill your black brothers and sisters, when you see the vast majority of 20 million Negro brothers smothering in the airtight cage of poverty, in the midst of an affluent society, when you suddenly find your tongue twisted and your speech stammering, as you seek to explain to your 6-year-old daughter why she can't go to the public amusement park that has just been advertised on television, and you see tears welling up in her eyes when she is told that Funtown is closed to colored people, and see ominous clouds of impurity beginning to form in her little mental sky, and see her beginning to disorder her personality by developing an bitterness towards white people. When you have to concoct an answer for your 5-year-old son who's asking, Daddy, why do white people treat colored people so mean? When you take a cross-country drive and find it necessary to sleep night after night in your uncomfortable corners of your automobile because no hotel will accept you. When you are humiliated day in and day out by the nagging signs reading white and colored. When you are harried by day and haunted by night by the fact that you are Negro, living constantly at tiptoe stance, never quite knowing what to expect next, and you are plagued with inner fears and outer resentments. When you are forever fighting this resurgent sense of nobody, then you will understand why we find it difficult to wait. There comes a time when a cup of endurance runs over and men no longer willing to be plunged into the abyss of despair. I hope, sir, you can understand our legitimate and unavoidable impatience. You express a great deal of anxiety over our willingness to break laws. This is certainly a legitimate concern. Since we so diligently urge people to obey the Supreme Court's decision of 1954 outlawing segregation, in the public schools. At first glance, it may seem rather paradoxical for us consensually to break laws. One may well ask, how can we advocate breaking some laws and obeying others? The answer lies in the fact that there are two types of laws, just and unjust. I would be the first to advocate obeying just laws. One has not only a legal but a moral responsibility to obey just laws. Conversely, one has a moral responsibility to disobey unjust laws. I would agree with St. Augustine that an unjust law is no law at all.
He was a Baptist minister and civil rights activist who was known for being a spokesperson for peace and nonviolence, as well as equality for all human beings. With his religious principles, he sought to change the world by preaching nonviolence, no matter the cause. His power came from his will to challenge those who brought hate and evil into the world. Martin Luther King was just 39 years old when he was assassinated, but his values of equality, nonviolent protest, and acceptance have remained strong since then. I created this video not only to show the power of Martin Luther King Jr. and his beliefs, but I also want to show that despite the threats, hate, and evil that he faced and embraced, he still continued to preach nonviolence and peace throughout the world. Enjoy.
I have some very sad news for all of you, and that is that Martin Luther King was shot and was killed tonight in Memphis. Martin Luther King dedicated his life to love and to justice between fellow human beings. He died in the cause of that effort.
Some of us were surprised, maybe, not that he was assassinated, but that he was with us as long as he was. Because every day, for more than 10 years, death was imminent. Everywhere he put his foot. We happen now to live with that and preach and teach the unconditional love of Jesus Christ through nonviolence for a decade is within itself miraculous.
America may have many days, but they will be full of trouble. There will be no rest. There will be no tranquility in this country until the nation comes to terms with our country.
Some of these illegal injunctions may not understand the denial of certain basic First Amendment privileges because they have committed themselves to that over that. But somewhere I read of the freedom of assembly. Somewhere I read of the freedom of speech. Somewhere I read of the freedom of press. Somewhere I read that the greatness of America is the right to protest forward. So that's what I say, we're not going to let it a world holds us turn us around. We aren't going to let any injunction turn us around. Well, I don't know what will happen now. We got some difficult days ahead. But it really doesn't matter with me now. Because I've been to the mountaintop. That's the way evil throughout our civilization. I'm sick and tired of power. I'm tired of war and Vietnam. I'm tired of war and conflict in the world. I'm tired of shooting. I'm tired of hate. I'm tired of selfishness. I'm tired of evil. I'm not going to use violence, no matter who says it. stand up for truth. You died if you refuse to stand up for justice.
Poem by Langston Hughes. Well, son, I'll tell you. Life for me ain't been no crystal stair. It had tacks in it, and splinters, and boards torn up, and places with no carpet on the floor, bare.
But all the time, I've been a climbing out, reaching landings and turning corners, and sometimes going in the dark where there ain't been no light. So boy, don't you turn back.
Don't you sit down on the steps.
'Cause you find it's kinder hard.
Don't you fall now.
For I still going, honey.
I still climbing.
And life for me ain't been no crystal stair.
Hi, my name is Alexis, and I'm gonna be reading a poem also by Langston Hughes. It's called "What Happens to a Dream Deferred." Does it dry up like a raisin in the sun, or fester like a sore and then run? Does it stink like rotten meat, or crust and sugar over like a syrupy sweet? Maybe it just sags like a heavy load, or does it explode?
What I wasn't taught in school. By Samuel King. Okay, afternoon. Good afternoon, class. Right, can we settle down? Rose, please turn around, because we've got a lot to get through today. Okay, so carrying on from our lesson from last week, we're going to be looking at the key divisions in the early stages of civil rights movement. Again, in the general impact across the board, Chris, come on, sit up straight. Stop your slouching. Come on. Because this is a perfect opportunity for you to engage and make the most of it. But we learn the same stuff every year for Black History Month. Every single February, we learn the same things, either apartheid, slavery, or the civil rights. How many of you guys have actually learned something new these last few years? See what I mean? Chris, this is your history. Come on. Nah, seriously. Do you guys know anything about Ralph Bunche, the first black person to win a Nobel Prize? Or that the richest person ever lived was a black man named King Musa I of Mali? What about Ella Baker? What about Ella Baker? Actually, I know who Ella Baker is. She's one of the most influential women of the civil rights movement. That's why I can't take Black History Month seriously. But Christopher, the curriculum is designed to help you think about Black history critically. Actually, Miss, it's designed to teach us what to think, not how to think. We're always taught that Martin Luther King had a dream. But those dreams can't be achieved because our brains are in chains, our minds are enslaved, so we won't get our redemption. Morgan Freeman. Will we ever be free, man? We need to open our minds, but how can we be taught to see the blind lead the blind? The first president to develop significant eye surgery was a black woman named Dr. Patricia E. Bath. So on that note, there's a question I must ask. If this is a great opportunity to learn and be engaged about our past, why are we not actually being taught about our past? And when I tell you you're wrong for telling me about me, you call it a riot while I call it a protest. The Ferguson outcry, the media exaggerate and make it seem like it's a bunch of delinquent youths on the streets who really the first cause of trigger was the death at the hands of the police. We seek to know information and the truth, and that's simply because you withhold information from the youth. Maybe one day we'll be satisfied with how our knowledge of history equates. Well, I'm sure like me, you're waiting for a teacher to fill in that space. So do so then. No answer. Well, maybe we can help and just throw out some names. Mary Seacole, a Crimean war nurse. Mary Prince, a black female author, to be sure she was the first. And when DJ Kohlberg brought the b-boy and dance to the U.S., and my foot swayed to the left and to the right like the wipers of a car's windscreen, and DJ Abronte brought Afrobeats to the streets. Many others, and the list continues. Marcus Garvey, Haile Selassie, Bob Marley, Ignatius Sancho, Tupac, Fela Kuti, Muhammad Ali, Maya Angelou, R.I.P., somewhere in just 1 month, a tip of the iceberg, a tiny grace. And what was the first Black Roman emperor's name? You're not teaching us these things, then I'm inclined to believe it's because you don't know. No, you're the teacher. Your job is to know. So you must know. And if you don't, that must mean you don't want us to know, but that's low. If the information is accessible for our knowledge of our culture to grow, then why on earth wouldn't you want to let us know? Why are we so focused on so heavily on the influential but very few men who made things happen for us? Why are you focused on our negative past but not on our bright future? Why are young people not being given the time of day? And his name was Spencer Severus, by the way. I'm sure as a student, the code of conduct has been breached, so I'll stop here and let you do your job, so teach.
I am the greatest. I am the greatest. I am the greatest. Float like a butterfly, sting like a bee. Rumble, young man, rumble. I was born Cassius Clay, but changed it to Muhammad Ali. I'm a prize-winning fighter, but not only in the ring. I refused to go to war to fight innocent human beings. I believed in myself and worked hard to succeed. Like Martin, Malcolm, and Serena, I help people around the world learn to dream. Thanks to the brave men and women like Martin Luther King Jr., Muhammad Ali, Harriet Tubman, and Angela Davis, I'm able to go attend this great school, and grow up to be anything I can dream.
Dates back as early as 3000 BC from Egypt. Ancient art gives historians hints as to the textiles used. Due to the warmth of the continent, clothing was at first very simple and sometimes covered very little of the body. Although there is evidence of clothing being worn by Africans very early in history, it was not until Africans began trading with other continents such as Europe that records were kept of the types of fabrics and styles of clothing that was worn. In this presentation, we will show some of the clothing in different countries and regions over history.
Northern Africa contains Libya, Tunisia, Algeria, Egypt, and Morocco. In the 7th century, when Muslims invaded North Africa, they introduced the region to new types of weaving and intricate embroidering, as well as the hijab. Because of this, even today in Northern Africa, many women wear hijabs due to the high amount of people practicing the Muslim faith. In the cities, many North Africans dress similar to those in Western countries, wearing jeans and t-shirts just as we do. In addition, men wear jayabas, which is a loose-fitting gown, along with the kafiyeh, which is a traditional cotton headscarf. Older women may wear a burqa and a bedla, which is a black headscarf and a flowing dress.
In Nigeria, located in West Africa, some traditional wear for women includes a long blouse, which can also be worn by men, called a buba. In Niger, clothing represents tribes, and long, colorful dresses are common among women. Kente cloth is a mix of cotton and cotton. In everyday life, women wear long skirts and dresses. The dashiki also originated in West Africa as a functional shirt for men that was comfortable enough to wear in the heat.
In South Africa, traditional clothing would be a reflection of a person's age and or social standing. The Xhosa culture, which was the second largest group in South Africa, wore long skirts and aprons and printed or embroidered fabrics. Elaborate beaded necklaces are worn along with bracelets and anklets. The Zulu people, which is the largest tribe in South Africa, a woman's hair and clothing depicts her age and status. Young single women wear their short and grass reed skirt with some beads only while engaged. Women cover their chest and grow out their hair. A married woman covers her entire body. Most of the traditional Zulu clothing was made from cloth only, but now cotton vests are beaded tops are worn along with necklaces. Married women also wear circular-shaped hats called izikolo. Zulu men wear animal skins and feathers to represent their status.
East African traditional clothing is similar to West and South African clothing in many ways. Kenya consists of over 70 tribes, so there is no one type of clothing throughout. Some tribes wear beaded necklaces with colorful wraps. That's called a kenda. For the Maasai tribe, red represents power, and the head of the household will wear red on many occasions. The Congo, which is a large cloth, is worn by men and women in Tanzania all over Africa. Can all of our models come up and take one more bow? Thank you.
Feel like I'm a lonely flower in a field of lonely flowers, drifting away, trying to find my place. I'm just another helpless flower in a far-out place, stuck in this space, too young to have a face, too brown to be heard,